Bright suns, everybody, and welcome to Castles and Company. My name is Jared Hendrickson, and today we've got a cool episode planned for y'all today. We got the Magic Key program coming out of Disneyland, so honestly, I'm really excited for this, but first let me talk about what we do here. We're just a little podcast show, talk about Disney news, things going on with Disneyland, Disney World, anything Marvel, Star Wars. We're all big fans here, or, well, most of us, but we all have our thing that we care for. Yeah, let me start off by introducing everyone who's with me today. So, as I said, my name's Jared Hendrickson, and with me we have Liam Hampshire, and then we got Shri the Tree, and then finally today we have Nathan Boosie. Hell yeah. So, to start us off, we'll go with. So, this is kind of funny. We're just going to talk about real quick Cruella. So, Liam was flaming me for this earlier today. So, we finally have the Cruella podcast, or the Cruella movie review out on YouTube. I took a long time getting that out. But yeah, it's finally out. So, if you've seen Cruella, this is a spoiler review of the movie. So, go ahead and check that out on YouTube. It's not out yet on Spotify. In fact, a lot of our stuff isn't out on Spotify yet. I'm getting around to that, but yeah, you can find that first on YouTube. Liam and I were actually watching a screen rant earlier. Liam, what was the guy's name again? I think you know him a little better.
Ryan
Oh wait, I
George, I'm
realized I
pretty
had.
sure.
You know what? Sorry, one sec.
I swear to God, if you restart the podcast,
Yes, I realized I didn't have your guys' audios on. I fucked it.
Yeah.
I hate my life.
Conversing with himself.
yeah, and pretends like there are three other.
So, bright suns, everybody, welcome to the very, almost at the very first podcast episode. Welcome back to Castles and Company. We have a good episode for y'all here today. So, we did the whole intro and I forgot to turn everyone's mics on. So, yeah, my name's Jared Hendrickson and we'll just restart this. So, joining me today is Liam Hampshire.
Hi guys, it's great to be here.
Then we have Shri the Tree.
What's up?
And then finally, Nathan Boosie.
What's up, guys?
There we go. So now we got that done properly. We do these shows live, so sometimes I mess it up. But yeah, for anyone wondering who's listening, this is a Disney podcast, so we talk about anything news of Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, anything like that, anything that Disney does as a company. And we got a good program for y'all today because we're talking about the Disneyland Magic Key program, which is kind of like their annual pass program, and then some other news along the lines of that. But we'll get started talking. As we were talking earlier, the Cruella episode is finally out on YouTube, so the movie review. So now that everyone can hear you, Liam, would you like to talk about the screen rant we watched earlier?
Oh yeah. We watched the Screen Rant pitch meeting video for the that like Ryan George, I think Ryan George does for them, and they did Cruella, and it was very funny because he has a lot of similar complaints about the movie. He makes fun of a lot of similar things that
Pretty much
I
everything.
had issues with. Pretty much like everything that we talked about that all pretty much all of the issues I had with the the movie, like
He
got
brought
brought up in
them,
some
yeah.
capacity. Yeah, yeah.
I was watching it and I had to stop watching it halfway through and like call up Liam and be like, Liam, you have to watch this with me, because everything in
It,
it was so perfectly what Liam was saying in his review.
it was pretty amazing. I'm probably gonna need to go and watch all of those now because it was pretty funny. The way that he does it too, because I've seen videos of his on his like YouTube channel where he kind of does he does a lot of like the first guy to ever like the first guy to ever like invent like uh like mascots or something like that. And he'll kind of have a similar way of kind of just taking apart the kind of weird logic of just like, hey, I guess this is a thing. But yeah, I'm gonna need to check out those screen rant videos. That was pretty funny.
So yeah, I finally got that movie review out onto YouTube. It's not out on Spotify yet, but if you want to go give that a listen if you haven't already, just find that on the YouTube channel. Um, that's all we got for that. And then next things up, we'll just go through to some Star Wars news. So we're just gonna go down the line here. Starting off with Star Wars. Bad Batch episode dropped. Shri, are you watching the Bad Batch currently?
I am, but I'm a couple episodes behind, so no spoilers.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I won't spoil anything with the episode, but I always do like a mini review of each episode that comes along, no spoilers. And this was, I would say, it was episode 14. There's 2 more episodes. This was, I think, hands down the best episode so far. It had a lot of characters that were exciting to see. They had some characters that were from that we previously haven't seen, except for like in like video games, or like very little in Star Wars canon currently. So it was really cool to see those characters. All around, I'm really excited for the next 2 episodes because they're finally like, I think we're out of the area where it's all like filler episodes, and now we're back into it's almost the finale. So hopefully we get something exciting. We still don't know yet if there's gonna be a Bad Batch season 2, but I hope there is. I don't know, Shri, so far, do you like the show?
Oh, I love it. Anything clone related, I'm there for.
So you'd be excited for a season 2 if they had that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just hope, not to go into any spoilers, but like I felt like they're kind of just doing the same thing for a lot of these
Yeah,
episodes.
that's my one issue. Is I hope they get a little bit more diverse and kind
Yeah,
of delve into more like strange, go off the path.
yeah. It's very like Mandalorian-esque in that sense.
Yes, exactly.
Liam, you've seen The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would just say the show, like, not to spoil anything, but the show's kind of like that, where it's like the Mandalorian goes to a planet, does something, leaves the planet. Bad Batches, they have that like very similar plot device, but it works pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They found something that works.
Might as well keep doing it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another thing that they just dropped in Disney news. So this was I haven't find the exact name for it. It was the Lego Star Wars Halloween special, Terrifying Tales, is set to release on Disney Plus on October 1st. So it's a Halloween themed Lego Star Wars special. It's titled Terrifying Tales: The Spooktacular Events, features Hale and Slater as Ren. A lineup including many returning Lego Star Wars voice actors. So I don't know. Did y'all see any of the news about this by any chance?
I saw the poster, but I didn't know if there was a trailer or anything. I didn't do too much research into it.
I didn't see anything. All I saw was the poster as well. So
Yeah.
I thought this was news because this kind of came out of nowhere. Like no one really.
Yeah, there wasn't any build up to it.
Yeah, no one really knew this was happening, but everything they've done with Legos, like the Lego stuff, I think has been pretty good. I didn't see the holiday special yet. You see that one yet, Tree?
No, it's on my to-do list though.
Liam, have you seen that one?
Same. No,
Same.
but it's on my watch list.
Have y'all actually seen the original holiday special, like the live action one?
No, I didn't even realize there was one.
I don't think so, but
I mean,
I've definitely heard of it. I've definitely heard of it.
I think this is the
It's
year I'm gonna watch it because I think we should do like a review of it. I think we could do like an in-person like watch
yeah,
party of the
that
holiday
would
special. I've never seen it.
100%, 100%. I
I,
would definitely be down to do
I
that.
don't know, Shree, are you open to that?
Yeah, I'd be down.
And then Nathan, I know you don't watch many movies, but you're always welcome to join the Star Wars nerds for that.
Hell yeah.
Um, I don't know. That's all about Terrifying Tales for now. Just keep that eyes out. We'll do a review of that probably. I guess it's a movie form, so I'm sure Liam and I will get together for that or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Maybe we'll do like a combo of like that one and the Lego the holiday special, the Lego one.
Oh, a twofer.
Yeah, too.
Compare
Because
the two.
I don't it's yeah because it's not, I don't think it's probably not going to be that long or anything, right? It's probably just like a little short
Yeah, it's
or like a
probably like an hour.
comparable. Yeah.
So, other news, we'll just move on to Marvel. So, y'all have heard about this, right, with Black Widow and how Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney right now?
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah.
heard
saw
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
Nathan, what have you heard about it so far?
I saw that it was over like a release on Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
Like, was it not supposed to be released yet or something?
She was under the yeah, something like that. She was under the impression that she's basically saying that because it was released on Disney, it didn't hit like the theater numbers it was supposed to, and like that hurt her like contract or something.
Yeah, her
Well,
contract. Oh, yeah, Liam, go ahead.
I was gonna say from what I understand, what happened was is when they were making the movie, it's they she had it put in her contract that she would receive like a percentage of any like box office revenue that the movie would make, and so because like in between that time, the pandemic happened and Disney found that it was lucrative for them to um, also release things on do exclusive releases on Disney Plus where they would like, hey, pay $30 and you can watch it for like however long on our platform. But they don't factor that into that doesn't it's not box office
A theater
revenue.
money.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and her
so she
contract.
doesn't get a cut. Yeah, so she doesn't get a cut for that. And apparently her people reached out to Disney saying like
We want to
saying, hey, can
renegotiate. Yeah.
yeah, we want to renegotiate the contract. And then they like Disney was apparently unresponsive. And so since apparently from what I've heard, this is supposed to be her last movie, she's like, oh, okay, well, screw it then. Also, apparently it's estimated she lost out on around like $30 million.
I thought it was 50. I heard 50 was the.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. It was yeah, 50 million dollars. And so she's like, screw you guys, I'm suing you. This
Yeah,
is
so here's the kicker.
you can't screw me like that.
Disney was like, we think that Scarlett Johansson's being very insensitive during like these
Oh
COVID
my god.
times, and it's like, bro, you're
Yeah.
trying to cheat her out of $50 million, even
Okay,
if it
but
is
also
35.
at the
Like,
same time, I understand what they're trying to say, and also
No.
she's filthy rich. This is literally just like big. Like I have no vested
She
interest in this because it's rich people arguing amongst rich people.
no, that
If she was like an underrated actress who had like zero roles and was like getting cheated out, I would say something. But she's been in like so many big budget movies. She's literally a millionaire.
Scarlett Johansson is not on the same financial level as the Disney company.
Oh yeah, no, obviously I agree,
But
but
it's
like I find it very hard to vest interest in either side because both of them are relative compared to me, they're on the same bracket. You know what I mean?
yeah, well the thing is that no one of a like quote unquote like average person size can do anything to kind of take Disney down a peg if they start pulling crap like this where they're like, hey, we have a massive control over over these like massive properties and things like that. So
But they
it's
do. That's what happened when Disney bought Marvel, bought Star Wars. Like they literally own it.
yeah,
that's
so
why I
it's
support this. Yeah, like Liam's saying, like no one else is gonna do it if not Scarlett Johansson. You know, like she's in the perfect opportunity right now where she's done with her last movie. She's not doing anything else with them, or at least not in any like giant, like impactful way. So she has the opportunity to go and like you think
But didn't
Emma Stone probably can't do that because we're thinking there might be like a Cruella too. You know, like She's
I
not.
think-
But in that same logic, didn't Disney immediately countersue?
I'm not sure.
I'm like, let me Google it real quick.
But either way, I think Disney should, even though it's like, yeah, it's millionaires fighting.
No, they're for sure in the wrong, but it's
Yeah.
just like I find it very
Yeah,
hard to
I get
cancel.
what- yeah.
I was like they're both so rich and they're arguing over millions of dollars that could be going to better things, in my opinion.
For me, it's not so much. I don't personally care like that much about like Scarlett Johansson's personal like financial hit that she's taken from the loss of the revenue. It's more the principle
Yeah.
of
That I understand.
of
Yeah,
just
that I
like
can-
of a
bullshit.
big corporation like Disney kind of using their like kind of their big stick status to kind of like push around everyone else. It's kind of because like it's kind of another example of back when Force Awakens came out. Like I heard Quentin Tarantino talking about one time that that he had like scheduled like a Christmas release for I think it was the Hateful Eight. He had like a Christmas release like
Good
scheduled
movie.
for all these movies. Yeah, great movie. But but Disney came along and said, hey, yeah, if you and he was because he shot it on like on I forget what millimeter, but like on a super nice camera and like wanted it to be shown on the big screens and like the way he wanted it to be seen. But like Disney came along and went to a bunch of these theaters and said, hey, by the way, if you don't show Star Wars on your biggest screens on Christmas Day, we're going to like boycott you and not let you show any Disney, Marvel, like any movies, whatever. So I hope you so you guys get screwed out of the revenue. So they kind of strong armed these theaters and doing stuff like that. And it's kind
Yeah, I
of
never
like,
heard about it. That's crazy.
I'm not
Yeah,
surprised though. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
like, I have a Dolby theater at my AMC, at the AMC Burbank, and whenever there's like a Marvel movie out or there's a Star Wars movie out, that specific theater is only showing
Oh
that
yeah,
movie.
that one will like always be like that's the only show they'll be playing there.
Yeah, and then in the big like IMAX theaters too. That's like you're not gonna see like his movie, the Quentin Tarantino's movies. They're like not as priority as like the big blockbusters, you know.
yeah, which I think is a shame, but I like, yeah. Anyway, the reason I support like kind of Scarlett Johansson at Emma Stone, like there's a rumor that Emma Stone might be doing like a similar thing. Like the reason I support things like this isn't because I care about it's like, oh man, Scarlett Johansson could really use that $50 million to like eat for another day. It's like
No, she needs it to afford
it's-
the new Disneyland passes.
exactly. I mean, I've seen
Actually,
what a natural segue.
no, I was gonna
Yeah.
say actually it'd be a better segue into the Galactic Star Cruiser and the cost for that later, but we'll get into that to a minute. Nathan, did you have a comment you were gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, it is kind of a shame that like you guys pointed out, like it is kind of hard to care, even though like something clearly wrong is being done. Like, yeah, like they can definitely like get away with a lot of this stuff just given how like it's kind of hard to be like, oh, like boo-hoo, Scarlett Johansson is not like getting
$50 million
full
rich.
benefit out of her movie contract, you know, like yeah.
I don't know. I'm more of like a justice kind of person. Like if it's in the contract and you agreed to the contract, follow the contract. And if the contract
Yeah.
doesn't work, renegotiate it. And Disney didn't
Yeah,
renegotiate it, so that's kind of their fault.
And it's kind of like frustrating, like seeing like the way Disney, like, I guess like in the movies, the way like there's so much like I feel like bonus content and stuff that comes out with these actors to make them seem like, oh, like we're all having like a great time on set and like,
Oh yeah, like all that.
we're having
B-roll
like a
film.
fun time. Yeah. And then like there's stuff like this happening. Like that's frustrating. to
No,
see.
that's the thing too, though. Kevin Feige was saying that he's like he's like in charge of the Marvel stuff. He doesn't pay her paychecks, but he's like her overseer, whatever you call it.
Mhm.
He was even saying that like he disagreed with how Disney was treating her. So I think it's like a corporate thing, not like a
Yeah.
like direct
Yeah, and I mean,
actor to
Yeah.
director type thing.
yeah, and I mean, as much as they do the whole like actors like the bonus stuff where it's like, hey, us actors, us millionaire actors are like down to earth and stuff. It's not like Disney's whole brand isn't doing that exact thing. I mean, we can go to later when we talk about the like the different keys, but it's like the
Yeah.
enchantment key, the magic key. This is a place of imagination and wonder. It's for the children, and it's for growing their soft little hearts. And we're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. And
Bro, I just like Space Mountain.
yeah, it's like it's the whole thing is that's how the game is played, and
Yeah, no, definitely.
which is like you can make an argument about how much of that there needs to be.
Yeah, we can we'll argue about the keys, but just so we to get there sooner, we'll talk about the next thing, which is, unless anyone has any last comments.
Nope.
All right. So next thing, Hawkeye. So the Hawkeye show released its first like official like still photo. I think we've seen like some behind the scenes things, but I forget if they're official or not. This is like the first official like picture, and it has Haley Steinfeld or Seinfeld. I can remember.
Seinfeld.
That was a T.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna call her Haley. So Haley and I'm blanking on the guy's name now. I'm gonna call him Hawkeye. There you go, Jeremy
Renner.
I was gonna call him Hawkeye. I'm bad with names.
Jimmy and Haley.
There you go. We got Bob and Stacy here. So they're in the photo together. They're just like kind of looking at each other, but you know, she's supposed to be like the main character along with him. I guess she's like his replacement. I was reading
Kate Bishop.
Yeah, Kate Bishop. I was reading that the synopsis of her is she's a 22-year-old girl who's a fangirl of Hawkeye, which of course is unrealistic because no one's a fan of Hawkeye in real life. But apparently like she like gets him into trouble with like her being a fangirl or something like that. I kind of don't like. I thought it was going to be more like him training her, as like he kind of likes her, but it seems
very interesting. It
seems more like he's like hesitant. But of course, it's probably like we can spoil Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's been a while. Right? I think we've been doing.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, like Bucky and I mean, this is also like kind of like assumed, but like Bucky and Sam aren't like too hot about each other, and then by the end they're like good friends. It's kind of like that's probably how this is gonna turn out too. Like they're not like super happy about the situation, but they like start to bond by the end of it. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, it's
typical Marvel type stuff.
I think that's just a classic like
that's a trope.
That's just a classic trope, like the two cops who get along and normally work on their own, but you know what? When they work together, hey, we make a pretty good team.
You know, it reminds me of like Rick and Morty, like baby legs. Do you know the clip? Do any of you know the clip I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like that. Like that was a parody of like that trope.
So same deal, I guess. I don't know. Does anyone have any major comments on Hawkeye? I mean, that's all we really got for the moment. Just if anyone wants to go online and check out the still that they released, but I don't think we have a date for Hawkeye comes out yet. Is anyone here excited for Hawkeye? I don't think anyone's like super.
Really.
Yeah, no one's really.
I don't know. Hope it's good. You know.
Nathan, will you be watching Hawkeye?
I will not, but I like
Homie's got Valorant to play.
True. I don't know. I appreciate them doing like the little like spin-off stuff, like with the because like if they could successfully make Hawkeye like a more interesting character, because like he doesn't get a ton of like screen time or really get
Ashley would disagree.
Yeah. I know, right? I don't know. Part of me is like, why are you giving more screen time to this like person that's already like been seen a bunch? Like, why not just?
I thought he retired like 4 movies ago.
I know, right? Like, yeah. Part of me is like, why not just introduce a fresh face if you're gonna like go into like developing another character? But like, I don't know. Part of me is like, it's some cool fan service.
Oh, that's what they're doing. I think this is his last thing. So I think after this, it's gonna be Kate, what's her? I forget the last name.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. There you go.
Oh, okay. So she like takes up the mantle.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna kill Hawkeye?
5 minutes
Well-
into the first episode, he gets murked.
It wouldn't
Yeah, he
take
just
a
gets
lot.
absolutely torched.
Like this man could like literally just get accidentally hit by a car and it would be wraps.
Bro, that'd be the funniest thing.
Imagine-
He doesn't look. He jaywalks and gets railroaded.
He gets hit by his own arrow. Like he fires a stray arrow, and it's like the grown up scene where it like comes down and like lands.
Oh,
in
and
the
he
guy's
just
foot.
fires it up. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like trying to train her. Watch this. He gets ratioed by his own
apprentice
arrow.
kills her by accident. Oh gosh.
Shoot. Sorry, something distracted me for a second, but
Our mics still aren't recording.
no, no, they're recording. They're recording. But yeah, I guess I'm excited for the Hawkeye show. We'll see when it comes out. But moving on to the next thing. So this is kind of something
Can't wait to watch it like 3 months after everyone else has seen it.
At that point, everything's spoiled for you. You find out
Yeah,
that
pretty
Hawkeye actually does die die jaywalking. If you get that correct, I'll buy you a magic key.
A dream key.
No, I'm
Oh,
not the
boy.
dream key.
Bro,
not
I'm
the
gonna
dream
just bribe the directors at Disney. I'll be like, please, you have to make this canon. He
What's
gets
the
ratioed.
difference, Jared? All of the keys are magic.
Because it's Disneyland.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Are we moving on?
Yeah,
Dead
so
body.
next thing moving on is sorry, I'm totally blanking. It's gonna be about Biden, interestingly. So do y'all know what the Hall of
Okay.
do you know what the Hall of Presidents is at Disney World? Do any of you know that here?
Oh yeah.
So they
Yeah.
have this
I
Hall
didn't
of
know they had
Presidents.
it.
And they add like every time there's a new president, they make a new animatronic and they put it into the Hall of Presidents. So they made a Biden
Sounds
animatronic.
terrifying.
And I think they just put it in today. I think they said it was on Wednesday. So yeah, there's a new Biden animatronic that talks now. I don't know, is anyone
This sounds terrifying.
I don't really have like a hard on for Biden, so maybe Obama.
maybe Obama?
I would pay to go see Obama.
That's true. Honestly, of any president, I would
Yeah.
like want to have a voice in the Hall of Presidents. I think I'd want it to be Obama.
True. Yeah.
I feel like Andrew Jackson will also be interesting. I feel like he'd be like, in terms.
I don't think that the things Andrew Jackson would say would be allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like,
Like I would take a picture with the Obama animatronic.
yeah. I feel like that's the only one I would be comfortable taking a picture with.
Yeah.
Good news. I'm pretty sure they're all there. Is it?
They
it's
got
all
they
the
got George
presidents.
W.
Why are you,
Yeah,
like,
they
are you
got-
like
they got
looking at a
W.
photo of them all?
Huh?
Are you like looking at a photo of them all? Or are you saying like do they have all of them in there?
No, I'm pretty sure they have all of them. I just remember hearing about it like back when. 'Cause I remember there was some whole thing about when Trump got elected. There was some story. There was like a story about like the one that I think the one that he made like looked weird or something. The one that was made of him like looked weird, which doesn't seem that surprising to me. But you know.
I mean,
Yeah, I think I don't know. This is something. Did y'all know there's a Abraham Lincoln like an attraction at Disneyland? Like you can go like listen to Abraham Lincoln talk at Disneyland.
oh, he really be doing the most. Dang.
Man, they froze his head too.
Got him.
So I haven't been to either of these. I haven't been to Disney World, so I haven't been to like the Hall of Presidents. But it's something like I'm interested to check out. It's cool that they're updating it, even with like post-COVID and everything. In addition, I've not been to the Abraham Lincoln one yet because it was closed during COVID. So, okay, I know like the whole park was, but like even when like when Nathan and I went around that time, it was like still closed down. So I don't know if I think it's back open, but I don't know. I think it's cool to like see that they're adding to the ride, or not the ride, the attraction, even though it's like I have no idea how old this animatronic thing is, but
They're adding the vampire hunter stuff.
wait, what?
The Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, they're really sprucing up that attraction.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, go Liam.
Oh no, I'm good.
I was gonna say, speaking up of sprucing up attraction, Disney World is sprucing up their hotel scene with the Star Cruiser over the Galactic Star Cruise, which they just released a trailer for on, I think, their Disney's or Star Wars Instagram page. But the biggest thing that comes as a surprise is this part, which is the company revealed sample cabin rates for the hotel on Wednesday. For a 2-night stay, it costs $4,809 for 2
What?
guests.
Oh my
$5,300 for 3 guests, and
Well, that's like-
$5,999 for 4 guests.
Wait,
My
whoa,
Nice.
what is going on there?
It's like a 2-day immersive. I think it's like 3 days, 2 nights immersive experience where you're in this hotel and it's supposed to be like you're getting on a starship, and like
better actually go to space
Space.
for $5,000.
I was like, isn't the
What?
Yeah.
Look, I'm pretty like I'm not very familiar with like what like standard like resort pricing looks like. But,
It's not that high.
Like yeah, like $5,000 for 2 nights for 3 people sounds a bit ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I mean for like $5,300, I mean I feel like you could create a home setup with like a computer and some shit and just inject Star Wars directly into your brain.
Like, dude, what is like the average like American salary? Like,
It's like 70K.
no, that can't be right.
think
It's
that's
gotta
high.
be. I think it's like 30.
Oh, I'm thinking of engineers. My bad. I'm thinking everyone's an engineer. My bad.
Just quick.
Oh, that's
flex, quick
our
flex.
that's all 4 of our salaries. Okay, continue.
Well, that ain't even all 4 of our salaries.
That's
Yeah,
all of
like
ours
that-
combined.
let's say it was like
It's okay.
hypothetically 50 or like 60, which sounds like a reasonable episode. Like $5,000 is a very large chunk of your yearly salary at that point. Like at that point, it's like right up there with like your like groceries and like actual
Hey.
like necessity.
Hey, it's okay if you're working minimum wage or California minimum wage. You'd only have to work full time without taking out any taxes of 353 hours without like any other expenses to be able to afford.
You could just
it,
buy
so-
a VR headset and stay in that for 2 days. It would be cheaper.
Exactly.
I want to know who's buying this stuff. Is it all just like rich people? Like
That's literally
probably-
all these articles I'm reading. People are literally saying this is just for the rich.
Like it has to be. It
yeah, like
really
there's
has
no
to
way
be.
any like because like even if someone's like a super fan, like spending $5,000 for 3 people for 2 nights is like
No, if
That's
you
not, like,
have
doable
kids,
for
if
a
you
lot of
have
people,
kids,
yeah.
this is not reasonable in any fashion. Like,
Bro, if my kids ask me for this, I'll be like, go play in the street or something. Like, I'm not taking you to the space garbage. Come on.
my
now.
kids ask me for this, they're not my kids anymore. Man.
I'll be like, bro, you either get a college education or this.
I'll take them
Yeah,
there. I'm
no, you have-
taking them
you-
there, then I'm dropping them off.
Figure out a way to sneak in and say you're someone else's family.
Oh my! Like you better hope the Empire
sounds
finds
cool,
you.
but the price is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like this is something you might want to do if like you're on your honeymoon. You know what I mean?
No.
Like
Yeah, you know where there's a lot of places you could go for $5,000
I'm
that
not
are
going
in.
to
Okay.
Disneyland. I'm
Yeah.
But you know that people will, which is
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
no,
the
you're
thing.
right. You're right.
okay,
Just
y'all are acting like people don't spend thousands and thousands at Walt Disney World anyway. But I mean, at least that's
I
kind of spread
understand,
out.
but
That's spread
that's
out,
like
though.
over the course they get to go to the park. Like I would say, I don't know how much the passes were previously, but they got to go to the park like maybe 10, 20, 30 times in a year. This is for 2 nights of my life.
You know how stressed I would be if I spent $5,000 on 2 nights? Like I would
Bro,
just
they'd be like, do you want a water? I'd be like, how much does the
yeah,
water cost?
yeah. Dude, like I would just be freaking out like about doing stuff the entire time.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, you drank the water." Someone would come to your door and be like, "Hey, could you hold out your hands and just choose a finger? Just choose a finger."
Like, dude, I don't think I would be able to sleep if I paid 5K.
Bro, I
for
know,
food.
like those beds must have like Starship memory foam or something. Like, it must be made out of gold.
Yeah. Yo, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker too. I read one part. It was like, alcohol isn't included.
What?
Yeah,
I
it
can't
says.
even get drunk.
Okay,
You
it
can't even
says
drink enough to convince yourself it was a good decision. Like, then what's the point?
the pricing covers ongoing immersive and interactive entertainment, your meals, excluding alcohol, and admission to Disney's Hollywood studios. So I guess
No, that's not enough. I want more,
bro.
sir.
so you get to go to the Disney World's worst park, and then yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they're not going to provide alcohol, they should at least provide weed. Because I mean, if I'm spending $300 on a sick ass hotel room, I mean, I should at least be able to just like get baked and just
You're in a
hang out in
starship.
that
You're
hotel
already
room.
getting high. You're going to space, brother.
Exactly. Just you have to at least be able to be like, I'm just gonna spend my day like
But yeah,
vegged
honestly,
out.
I would just need something to inebriate me just for the fact that I know I spent so much money.
True.
Oh,
Like,
well.
let's
Like,
say,
hey,
like, I don't know. I feel like there's no way it can even be worth it.
Did you mix up a number, Jared? Like, did you double check this number?
No, I am reading
that
here.
is 100%. That's a
$5,999 for 4 guests.
people will there is enough of a market for people
That is
will pay
insane
that.
to me. That
There's
blows my
definitely
mind.
people that
I
will
think
pay
that's
them.
all I have to say about that.
I think
Um,
everyone agrees. Yeah, any last thoughts, Nathan? At all?
I would just like quick tidbit. Like, I genuinely don't think there's any like, what could they possibly have
Offer.
there that would make $5,000 like?
It's not five.
justifiable?
It's 6,000.
Yeah, like
They're saying
Yeah.
5,999 to mess with you.
And have
Yeah,
y'all seen the
like-
rooms? I want you to like look up right now. Let me see if I
Okay.
can like.
All right, let me look up these
Star-
6K.
wait, is it
Cruises
actually like? Is it 5.7?
What?
I just heard you say
what's
5
this
and I ran
called?
with it.
Here, what's it called?
Type up Star.
Unreal.
Okay, everyone who's listening, do this too. Go on to Google and type in Star Cruiser Space Room and look at the first picture. That's what you're living in for like the 2 nights.
That's not even that good.
this looks like a boat. It literally looks like a boat.
You know what
room.
starships are, right? They're starships.
But I'm saying I want to stay in a spacey, futury thing. You're putting me in a boat. I get seasick.
No, you see these
Actually,
beds?
you know what? Like, honestly, it wouldn't be as good of quality, but I would honestly be curious to see like if someone had a $6,000 budget, like if they could make this room themselves. It's like
Like
it
one of those
looks
house
it-
shows.
The room surely costs like $400.
Yeah, bro. I feel like I could find this bedding on Etsy for like and put it all together for like $1,000.
Yeah, like
I know for a fact they got some poor Etsy worker out there just building these like stitching together these beds. That boy's like, I want to go home, please.
Yeah, I paid $500 to get so I went to what do you call it, Galaxy's Edge on opening day, and to get that I had to get a $500 hotel room at Pixar Pier, and that wasn't even worth it. You know, be paying even as a Star Wars fan, if I'm dishing out $5,000, I got to be making like hella bank, like during my.
I would
life.
never dish it. It's the principle in the matter.
It's the principle.
Yeah.
All right, well, just to move along, so I think everyone here agrees. Way too much money. There's a lot of other little things I wanted to talk about this week.
What is this?
Huh?
Is this fucking $6,000? Are these bunk beds? Or what are
Yes.
these? What are these little cubbies?
$6,000 for bunk beds.
Mhm.
And
I
you
am
see the
paying
bed?
fucking six. Yeah.
So, anyways,
God.
we could trash talk it all day, but there's other news I was gonna mention. It's real quick. Some new Lego sets dropped for Star Wars. I think Shri got one. He's building that. I was gonna grab a couple, so if y'all are interested in checking that out on Legos.com. Other thing I was gonna mention, we still haven't seen a Spider-Man trailer. I'm just like going through all of these quick. No Spider-Man trailer. How many months away are we? It's like in December, right?
Yeah, so close actually, huh?
We're
4 or
literally
5
getting
months.
more for like all the toys I think are like out already or something. Like people are seeing the toys for the Spider-Man movie and we haven't seen a trailer yet. So people are starting to get annoyed by that. I don't know, anyone else here waiting patiently for that? I know every day I
I
wake
am a
up and
big
I'm like
Spider-Man
looking for it.
fan, so yeah.
They're probably they might be waiting because
Was it Venom or Carnage or whatever?
no, they're probably waiting because like this whole Delta variant stuff is probably gonna affect I don't think they know how it's going to affect movie theater
Oh,
things,
that's a good
and
point.
especially with stuff like Black Widow. Because I imagine with Spider Man, they might I, they might just want to do a theater release of that because they know that they can get people to go to the theaters for that.
Uh-huh.
But actually, because of course I don't know the money stats on on Disney Plus things, but they I think they don't want to like release stuff and be like, oh hey, we're gonna release Spider Man, and
I mean, it already has
then
its
have
date
all
out.
the theaters closed down, and then like I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean,
That'd be my
Black Widow
guess.
had its
I have
date out and
nothing
it got
based
delayed.
on.
They better
Yeah,
not delay Spider-Man anymore. This was supposed to come out like 6 months ago, I think. Like COVID had.
dude,
So
I'm still waiting on that new James Bond movie.
that's coming out.
That was
I think
supposed to
that's
come.
in November. I'm excited for that one. No Time to Die.
Yeah, yeah. I went to the theater. I went to the theater a week or two ago, and I saw one of the posters that was still up that said, "The James Bond No Time to Die coming out April of 2020."
Is it with Daniel Craig still?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's his last one, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's his last one. But I feel like he said that about like Spectre and like Skyfall. So,
That's what I thought. I thought the Skyfall was his last one.
So did I, honestly. But
yeah.
so last thing I was gonna mention before we start talking about the new Magic Key program. I saw Jungle Cruise the other day. So if y'all didn't know, that movie came out. Really good movie. We'll have a movie review out for it eventually. Just we'll see. We saw
Would you
deep,
say
huh?
would you say it was quite a ride?
Well,
Um,
you know, one of the main characters couldn't swim, so I knew Ashley would really relate to that in this movie, but she's
Oh
not
my
here right
god.
now, so can't roast her right now. The other thing about it though is it's very okay. Here, you take these movies. You take The Mummy, you take Pirates of the Caribbean, and you take like Indiana Jones, and you take Jumanji and combine all of them, and you get the Jungle Cruise movie. It is
Oh
like a
really?
that is like a combination of all of those movies into one. If that makes sense. If you're wondering what kind of like movie this is, I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. But it seems like a very much like a hash together, in my opinion. But anyone here gonna see that besides Liam? I know Liam, you're gonna
I'm
see
a
it.
big theater fan, so I probably will end up seeing it. But I want to go watch The Green Knight first.
The what?
The Green Knight.
yeah,
It's not
I've
like
seen
a
a
Disney movie or anything. It's just like this really interesting movie I've seen. It's like I wouldn't say sci-fi, but like a fantasy night medieval movie.
Okay.
yeah. I haven't seen. I've seen a little bit about it. I've seen enough about it that I want to go see it. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying
like
to.
definitely peaked my, and it's got my hero Dave Patel. You know, you got to represent the Indians.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
Nathan,
Yeah.
I expect you to go to this one.
I will come out to show my support.
That's why I listen to Nav. I don't like him per se, but you gotta understand. You have to respect.
He's just leaving the top 100 artists song on as if it's his local.
Oh, dude, no, I will literally put Nav on and then put it on you.
You're gonna pry Nathan's fingers off the WASD key to get him to go to this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna like open the sunlight so he just gets burned and then flush
Yeah.
him out.
It just startles me off of the chair.
Flush him into the dark theater where he can relax again.
His atrophied legs just shatter.
Nathan,
I worry about you, Nathan.
Nathan, did you get a chance to read anything about the Magic Key program for Disneyland? I know we mentioned it in our own
I've
personal
been
Discord.
perusing it while we've been talking.
Nathan,
And
if
it's-
you're down, I'm down. I'll pull up, Nathan.
Okay.
We're talking about
For
for the-
Magic here to flush me out of my apartment.
If Nathan
He's
and
gonna-
Michael get one, it's sold.
Oh, to get a Magic Key?
Yeah.
These are quite expensive. I was looking at these while we were talking about the $6,000 hotel experience, and I was
so-
like, they just do not stop.
Oh, they really truly do not. They're like, we're gonna keep pushing to see how far we can go before
Yeah.
they push back.
I respect it. They're like, how high can we take it?
Exactly. They're like, how far is too far?
No, it's okay. It's okay. They're just gonna find a very dedicated, very dedicated fan base with a lot of money that they can consistently get revenue from, kind of like Scientology.
But here's the
It'll be
thing.
great.
Here's the thing. At some point, they're gonna just keep raising their prices, and those people will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep going." And then there's people like me who want to go but don't want to pay the price. And then like it's gonna get increasingly worse. Like I bought like 1-day passes from me and my friend, and it was like $230 with taxes. And like I'm okay with that. But if I want to go like every now and then, I have to buy a pass, which is then $400 for one person.
But just think
Only
about
if you
it.
live in Southern California.
Yeah, but think about this too.
Exactly.
Think about it. If their prices weren't so high, think about how many people. It's already crowded with the prices high. If prices were even lower, honestly, I kind of understand why they keep raising prices. In that sense, they keep raising them,
I
and people keep buying
understand,
it.
but you're creating it for this like system where like people who like have kids but can't quite afford it, who want to go, can't go. Honestly, I know it's worse, but they should for sure lower their prices and let more people in, but just have better control of how many people they let in per day. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it might be harder to get tickets, but I'd rather it be like that so it's more fair to people that want to take their kids but can't quite afford it.
I mean,
Well, that's
it's
the
all
thing is they're
dilemma.
like, hey, we can have 100 people comfortably in this park. They're like,
Exactly.
oh,
rather
we
than
could
fighting
limit
for
it
the
to
brick
we could
every
limit
day.
it to a reasonable price, or if we're like, hey, if there are 100 people out there who we can get to pay $10,000 to spend 30 minutes in the park, like, hey, that's a lot more revenue that Mr. Mickey Mouse.
Okay, that's
So-
unrealistic. You need to have them pay $6,000 and spend 2
Yeah.
nights and 3 days in the.
Yeah, sorry, I was giving an unrealistic number.
So is
I
Disney.
completely
So is
understand
Disney.
why they're doing it, but it's
Yeah.
at some point I was just like, you don't need to be making this much profit. Like, you know what I mean? Like at some point, just like
Okay.
let a family who's been working real hard, who's like lower middle class, let them take their kids to Disneyland. They
Alright.
shouldn't have to like donate blood, give an arm and a leg. To go.
Yeah.
All right. So before we
Hey,
bash it,
this is the remember this is the Disney that like thinks like, hey, fuck it, we can screw around with like millionaires. Do you think they give a fuck about people like?
And I understand that's just capitalism. Like that's tried and true capitalism. There's no change in that.
But the
Okay.
thing is, though, like at some point, doesn't this bubble like pop? Like once you kill the magic, once your tickets get.
Bro,
to the
there was
point
never
where
no
no-
magic. It was never about the magic.
The
I mean,
magic was all a ploy.
There's no cheese and crackers in prison, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
wake up. There's no cheese and crackers in jail.
There's no cheese and crackers in Disneyland. It's all about the money, and it always
No,
has,
it's
it
okay,
has
that's-
been for a long time.
It's okay. No, the way it works is that the way that capitalism works is there is a bubble, and when the bubble pops, it's all the people that couldn't afford to go to Disneyland in the first place that are going to end up holding the bag. So it's okay.
I mean, kind of like, so okay. Before I'm gonna go on a tirade, but before we do that, let's just for the listeners to hear, I'll explain a little bit more about the program, the things that are different from the annual pass program they previously had. So, does everyone else have this open on their computers if I talk about it?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, they have the Imagine Key. So this is the one for Southern California residents. This is only for Southern California residents. So it is $399, or you can do $179 down payment and do $19 per month, 12 months. So one thing to note for all of these, all of their passes is the only people that can get the, like the per month plans are people who are from Southern California. So I think the previous AP Pass program, anyone across the entire world could have their pass be paid per month, but now I think it's limited only to SoCal, or it says California residents actually.
The Imagine key I think is for Southern California
No,
residents.
but
The
like
rest are for all is for California in
yeah, but
general.
so the Dream Key says for $102 per month for 12 months for California residents. And then Imagine Key says available for Southern California residents only. And then another thing says for $19 per month for Southern California residents. So all of these keys you can get the per month plan if you're a California resident, and then Imagine Keys only for Southern California. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so of course that one includes up to 2 park reservations. So Disney's completely gotten rid of you can't just like show up to the park anymore. That used to be a big thing that people liked about the annual pass program is you could literally just get done from work and be like, I want to go to Disneyland today, and you could just walk into Disneyland. Now you can't do that. You have to like have a reservation. So if you decide like you can still decide, hey, I want to go to Disneyland today, but if there's no reservation, you're not going. But like maybe you could like preemptively predict that you want to go to Disneyland in 3 days and then like get a reservation. Like it's kind of people are annoyed that that's like not something they can do anymore.
Yeah, I for that I kind of understand from a marketing perspective, and especially these days, like if we're gonna have people going to Disneyland these days, with like depending on how this whole Delta thing goes, but the uh, I get that there be that because I think a common thing with Disneyland is people talking about how like the lines for everything are crazy long. So them kind of preemptively limiting the amount of people that can be in the parks, especially when they're like rolling out like this new subscription, these new key plans, and everyone who's gonna like everyone who's like, ooh, actually, I might want one of these is probably gonna come as soon as they can, especially like after we've been stuck inside for so long. That I get why they're doing that, at least from just a marketing and experience
Oh
perspective.
yeah,
It's like, hey, they don't want people showing up and being like, oh, I paid $649 and I'm gonna be stuck in this, and I'm gonna I'm gonna be able to show up. I'm gonna have a park reservation, show up for a day, and be able to get on like 4 rides because each line takes like an hour and a half.
that's the thing. Like with all these things that we're talking about, Disney got really lucky in the sense with the pandemic where they were able to reset their pass program and also introduce reservations. They've been wanting to do that for a long time, and now they have the option to. Like these passes, like as we're going through them, these are a better deal for Disney than the previous passes were. Some of them are like mostly
Yeah.
the same. Like, of course, the Imagine Key has 10% off select merchandise, 10% off food and beverage, and then each key you go up, it's like usually a little bit more. Oh, well, the Enchant Key, the one above the Imagine, is $650, and then it's 10% off merchandise and and food as well. But it's 4 reservations. I think I was looking at the blackout calendars for both of these keys. That's the thing too with the Imagine Key and the Enchant Key. They have so many. I think like most of the weekends are blocked off. So like Shri, I know that you're a person that
So I couldn't even go during the weekends.
yeah, like for the bottom keys you couldn't go during weekends pretty much.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I think the 600 the Enchant Key, the $650 one has like some weekends.
Good
But
thing I'm going back to school.
yeah, except the Magic Key, I think it has almost zero, or like so few that it's like it's not even.
That people are going to be fighting for them, basically.
Yeah. So then the Believe Key and the Dream Key, the ones at the top. Believe Key is you get you get reservation to both theme parks most days of the year. So it's $950. And then Dream Key is $1,400. You get every day of the year. So and you get plus 20% off select merchandise, 50% off beverages, and then free parking. And the Believe Key, which is the $950 one, you get 50% off parking. So I looked at the blackout calendar for the Dream Key, the top one, and you get literally every single day of the year is open. So you can go any day of the year that you want. At least so far, that's what they've shown us. That might change. I'm not too sure, but I guess like the important things to note are the reservation system, which I guess is staying now. You have they took away Photo Pass and Max Pass from the top pass. That used to be a thing for like the AP
What is
pass
that?
holders.
I'm done.
What's up?
What is that?
So
The Fast Pass.
Photo Pass is like a $20 thing where like every day you're at Disneyland, you have to pay $20 if you want your photos from like going on Splash Mountain or like like they take photos.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
and then like you have like a what do you call it? A number associated with like your photo.
Yeah.
So if you want those photos in like high quality, you have to pay like $20 for the whole day. So that used to be included in the season pass or whatever. And then they also had Max Pass, which is like Fast Pass, but like you had like a wristband. So that was also included. And they no longer offer that with the pass as well. So they took out like 2 features, but you still get to keep the parking, which I guess is good. And then one last note I want to make. Liam, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I love that the $1,000 the sorry $949 option is like, hey, you get half off of the parking costs.
Why is that so funny?
Because you don't even get parking, you're dropping $1,000.
Yeah, you dropping $1,000 on Disney, and they're like, hey, you only have to pay half of the parking fee.
We could still use it. We would still like it if you spotted us a little bit for parking.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
need this money right now. You don't understand how much we lost in this COVID and this Scarlett Johansson thing.
Yeah, it's really a shame how all these about how Scarlett Johansson and all these customers were like really being bad sports about this whole COVID thing. It's like it was kind of a bummer we had to not have Disneyland. Like, think about us for a little second.
Think about the
reason we have
children.
to pay for parking is because of Scarlett Johansson.
They just need
Exactly.
they just need a little extra gas money to get them through the week, guys. Come on.
Yeah, bro, dead ass. That's really what it is.
It's literally like some like really bad boyfriend that's like
like baby, I swear I'll get you next week.
like,
This-
hey,
this
by
is-
the way, like
This is literally what it is. Hey, you pay us $1,000 a year, but like, hey, you mind if we split the parking?
yeah.
Like I know you're paying for food and everything, but can you spot me on the parking too?
Yeah.
I'll make it
Yeah.
up to you, I promise.
Yeah, we're giving you the privilege of existing in our presence. Let's split the parking.
Speaking of split, so you know how you used to be able to do like park hopping, where like you used to be able to go to any park
parks
whenever
in
you
one day?
want. Yeah, you could go to whenever you wanted, park hop whenever you wanted, as long as the park wasn't full. They
Are the
took
parks close by?
yeah, the parks are like I think in between them is probably like a 1-minute walk maybe.
Bro,
Like
and they charge there's 2. Oh my god, you have to buy 2 different tickets. to
No.
go to the park?
Oh,
So if
sorry, and don't worry. The parking is for one standard vehicle,
Oh.
and parking is not guaranteed.
what
Oh,
you
that's
mean,
what I read. I read that.
you mean I can't bring my giant jet? What? I can't land my Star Cruiser there?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with the park hopper, so what they do is you have to like reserve a day for park hopping. And then so instead of like doing a reservation for like Disneyland or for California Adventure, you like reserve a day for park hopping. And then you have to pick whichever park you start in, and then at 1 o'clock you're allowed to like switch back and forth. So the previously if you had the pass, you could just like hop into whatever park whenever you wanted. Oh, it seems like the days of that are also gone. So it's kind of tough now. Like the reservation
and
station, it makes sense because like you're never going to be denied entry, but
Well, yeah, but what I'm curious about is you're talking about the having number of it's like let's say the dream key. They're saying you have the option of being able to go like every day of the year with up to 6 park reservation holds at a time. Let's say you're doing like both parks, and so it's like
that counts
okay,
as
you
one.
can have-
That counts as one reservation. I looked that up online.
Okay, so say that you can have 6 different days you can reserve.
Exactly.
it says it's when it says on here that like they're subject to other rules and restrictions. I don't know if this is something that like if it was a thing they would have to like say it up front, but like I'm curious if they're gonna there's gonna be a situation where like on top of the fact that reserving certain days is going to be difficult because of like uh like the limited capacity and everything. I'm curious if they're going to be like, yeah, you can reserve them. Like all of days of the year are available, but like you can only reserve uh, reservations like within this like after this amount of time has passed, or like like I I doubt that they're going to have it be so that you can, oh, I'm going to be able to reserve these 6 days, and then I'm going to reserve the next 6 days, and then like actually being able to go every day of the year. I mean, that'd be nice if that's actually how that works. But
I'm confused what point you're trying to make.
I'm saying that it's. I think they're. I'm curious what the difference is between being able to reserve being having the option of reserving every day of the year rather than like select days of the year or most days of the year as it says on the other keys, versus being actually able to go like any day of the year, like as many the difference between being able to choose from any day of the year versus being able to go as many days of the year as you would like.
Yeah. Like what does most mean? What like I want to see the calendar. Like
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can see the calendar. So if you go to the Disneyland website and you go to
Mhm.
like they have a magic key section. So if you click on here, I'll guide people who are listening. So you go to Disneyland.com, and then once you go to the top of it, there's a section that says it says parks and tickets, places to stay, things to do, and then there's magic key. So when you click on magic key, then you scroll down to um, the four passes. So if you click on believe key, it's the second one. It's the one after dream key. Then you click on view believe key access calendar, and then you can like zoom in and out on all the dates that are like blacked out or not blacked out. So I'm not quite. I think I still like missed a bit what you were saying, Liam. But like the idea is that you have six reservations. So let's say you want to go. Um, okay. Do you all know what Dapper Day is at Disneyland?
Yeah, where you dress up nice.
Yeah. Have you heard of that one, Nathan?
No.
So it's like you dress up like I don't. What is the time period?
Old timey.
Like
Dress up dapper.
1950,
1920s.
1920s. Yeah. So yeah, you dress up like all nice. Like maybe you wear a suit to Disneyland or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So the
That'd be
idea is,
hot.
let's say that's May 30th. I forget the exact day. What you do is you get a reservation for May 30th because you know it's going to be Dapper Day and you want to show up for that. Now you only have five reservations. So let's say that the month is January. Yeah, like you're currently in January and you've used that reservation in May. That means you only have like five reservations to work with until May comes around. Until like that Dapper Day passes. So like you couldn't reserve 6 days in a row in January because you still have a reservation being used in May. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that say you're like, oh man, you know what? I want to go to Disneyland every day this year. So I'm gonna get the Dream Key. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reserve 6 days in a row to go to Disney. And then at the end of each day, I'm gonna take
You
my
do a
free
rolling.
reservation.
You're gonna like
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm saying that I would be surprised if that is actually how that is going to work. Even like even looking through this, they're already talking about that it's like which like isn't an uncommon thing, but they're saying like it's subject. There are going to be certain days where passes aren't going to be allowed.
Oh yeah, they have
Park
like
reservations may not
they have
be.
special events sometimes. So it's not like they don't list
Yeah,
that on the blackout calendar because they don't really have the events like scheduled yet. But like let's say for example Oogie Boogie Bash, um, like let's just say they had to close down the entirety of California Adventure just for Oogie Boogie Bash. which is like a separate ticket cost, then you can't go that day to that park. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I also don't. I'm not super familiar with how the the Disneyland pass system worked beforehand, so I'm
No,
not sure
neither am
like
I,
how
to
much
be
of this.
honest.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't have
like
the money
some of
for
the
it.
stuff might be things like some of these things might be people were already things that is like how the Disney pass worked, and so it's like yeah, of course that's like no one reasonably expects to be able to go to Disneyland every day, but but I yeah I'm curious what I'm curious what are going to be the like what will fall under like how much is going to fall under things like the subject to subject to restrictions and things
The
like that.
fine print stuff.
Yeah, especially with these high prices. I'm I'm curious to see what that's going to be like.
Yeah, I guess I read the fine print or I read as much of the fine print as I could for the passes or whatever. Let's see, there's one Reddit post I was reading about. They were talking about. There's also the fine print that he read, and these were his like notes from it. He said it was user time duck on Reddit. He said the magic key passes are limited, so they say that in the fine print. They're only going to be selling a certain amount of each tier. I think that's just like I don't think that means that like they're going to sell out quick. I think it just means that like um at any point they can like decide that they want to switch up the passes and stop selling that pass, and it's like oh it's sold out, you know. um your pass starts counting down from the day you enter a theme park, so if you buy the pass on August 25th, it doesn't start until like let's say you go in November for the first time. It starts in November and you have 1 year, and
Plus, you could
then
just hold on to it indefinitely.
what's up?
You could just hold on to it indefinitely.
I think it's just for I think you have a year to use it.
I
You
think
have a year to you have a year to start it, and then it's a year from when. You
Oh,
start.
got it.
yeah, I don't know how long you have to start it, but it appears that like the first day you go is when it like starts the year off. I'm sure there's like an expiration date at some point though. You can upgrade your regular day tickets into magic passes. I don't understand that one, but I guess if you already had like a ticket, you can just upgrade it and like get credit toward it. Yeah, photo pass isn't included at any tier. You can't add on parking as a benefit if you buy a lower tier without one. You can get a physical pass holder card, so that used to be a thing. But if you want a physical card, you can buy one at a ticket booth for $20, but it's not even plastic. It's like paper. So for $20, you can get a piece of paper that says I have a Disneyland Magic
Sick.
Pass, and it does literally nothing because all the Magic Pass is on your phone, or the Magic Key is on your phone,
That's
It feels like magic.
because it's made of magic paper. And then
Yes.
yeah, and then he mentioned the reservations for Park Hopper. So I don't know, all around, I know y'all aren't like super into like paying the cash for this stuff, but I guess we'll start with Nathan. Nathan, do you have like a pass you think is like the best value out of all the ones we talked about?
Uh, I mean, like, it's hard to say because like it depends so much like on how much because like there's people like I think it's kind of like dumb to argue for value like when we're talking about Disneyland, right? Because it's all like really overpriced. But like if you're going to go to Disneyland like a lot, then yeah, like I would say
I would say the mid
getting a
tier, the
pass like
second
this is
highest
worth it.
tier.
Yeah, it's at these price points. It's how much you want to go to Disneyland. It's
Yeah,
pretty much
exactly.
like
Yeah, exactly.
how much
Exactly.
is the value? Is the value of it?
I guess I think it's also like what kind of person are you in the sense like when are you going? Like I know like I'll try to hit up friends to go, but they're only available on like weekends, and it seems like the SoCal Pass, the $400 one, like
Yeah, if
doesn't
anything,
have
I would get that
weekends.
one.
But it doesn't have weekends. That's like the
Well,
issue.
I'm going back to school, so like I can be a little bit more flexible now.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm not like working I'm working like that 8 to 5 right now, so
Personally, I'm the type of person that thinks you should only go to Disneyland on a weekday. I feel like weekends are way too crowded. That's just me.
yeah,
Yeah,
that I completely agree with that.
yeah.
Nathan,
Honestly, like I was gonna say, like, yeah, honestly, Imagine Key is like probably the, I mean, it's the one that's designed for like people who are in Southern California and can be like, hey, you know what? I'd be down to just take a quick drive in a week or two to go down to Disneyland. You know what? Maybe I'll do it again in a month or so from now. Like you can get value out of that, but the rest of them are the
Yeah, if
rest of
someone
them
from
it
like
really
NorCal
depends
buys
on.
one, they have to be like tweaking.
Yeah, because any like unless you're in Southern California, the rest of these it's okay. Well, how often am I going to make the trek down to Southern California to like to go to Disneyland? And so it kind of depends on, so the at that point, like the value of these is how much are you willing to go to Disneyland?
Yeah. Like it's kind of like these I feel like a lot of these like options only apply to people that would like spend a really like, I don't want to say like unreasonable, but like a very like people
Like
that
Very
are
me,
dedicated.
spending a
like
lot
me.
of money on Disney anyway, that yeah, you can like do some damage control by getting a pass. But like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like your average Joe, like maybe not.
Oh,
Because
definitely
like
not
you
for an
mentioned,
average
Jared,
Joe.
like yeah, like there's so many like factors like weekends and whatnot that like play into it, and like it's just not worth it unless you're already spending like quite a bit of money on Disney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like things like the $5,300 uh like like Star Wars hotel room. That stuff's for people who are like, for
Right.
probably people who are like, probably not even people from the US, like people who are coming and visiting the US, and they're like, hey, we're taking an out of country trip and we're just going to spend a bunch of money to go see like the coolest stuff, and like everyone talks and loves Disneyland and Disney World. So so you know what, I I want a crazy scratch off lottery, and I'm just gonna drop 5 grand to like on this crazy vacation, just as like a one time experience kind of thing. Whereas I think the keys are a lot more for the opposite. It's for people who have an easy way of getting uh, to and from Disneyland, which either means they're close, which they're in Southern California, or like buying plane tickets and stuff isn't really a big deal for them. So, which it makes a lot more sense to these like kind of prices.
Okay, here let me phrase it this way then. Let's say like use me for an example. Like I'm like a Disney fan and I plan on going a lot, and it's like um how do I say it? Like what would be like the best value for like someone who does go a lot? Because from
If you're consistently going on weekdays, I would stick to the bottom two tiers.
see that's the thing. That's a good point if I want to go on, but there's always the
If you
chance.
want to go on weekdays, though, I feel like the bottom one's a solid.
But
You
I
know,
like having
like
the option too of like having a weekend.
yeah, you know, because
Like
I feel like if you go a
sometimes
lot,
because
right?
sometimes the weekdays don't open up most of the time, just like in your life.
Yeah, like and like if you're going a lot, right? The thing is like if you're going a lot, and like you mentioned with like the friends and stuff, like it's a lot easier to plan like a group trip on a weekend. Like if you're going a lot, you're probably gonna end up wanting to go on a weekend at some point, and it would suck to like have to buy like a ticket on top of having like a weekday pass, you
That's
know?
exactly what I'm thinking.
So yeah,
Like your friends are gonna be buying the ticket, and so will
yeah,
you, even though you have that pass. I feel like the advantage for me of getting like the dream key is it includes the parking. So if I do go with friends, I can like cover the parking.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, just like knowing myself, I'd probably be taking like the bus over there, so that wouldn't like help me every day. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think you're gonna get a grand and a half's worth of value out of like, are you gonna
my goal
be
is to be
getting,
going at least once a month, maybe twice a month. That's what I'm thinking. Like at that point, I might as well get the dream key. So okay. So here's my thought process right now. I think the Imagine key is good for SoCal residents that want to go. That go to Disneyland maybe 3 times a year, and they have like the ability to go on the weekday, and it's like not during the summer. Because like the Imagine key, all of the summer is blocked out. Pretty much every weekend's blocked out. You know, so it's like you're pretty much donezo with that. And then the enchant key is basically the same thing as the imagine key, but it's just for not for SoCal residents. Um, the believe key is what, a $500 difference from the dream key, but it's got 50% off on the what do you call it, on the parking, and then it's got a little less off of merchandise and dining than dream key does. So and but at the same
Yeah,
time,
but
it
I
still
think
has a
it's
fair amount of blockout dates, and I kind of like that ability to for me to be like I want to go whenever I want. I like having that
I,
ability.
Yeah, because like if
yeah.
you're gonna be doing all that like planning anyway, it's like why are you buying a pass? You know,
What do you mean?
it's like I feel like a lot of the allure like of a pass in the first place is being able to go like on and like Leo mentioned, like I'm not sure how it worked before, like how much freedom there was. Like maybe it's not reasonable to expect to just like go to Disney whenever you want, but like
Okay, so
if you're
just
gonna have
Yeah,
to
and
like
well,
step through so many hoops, like
yeah, and the thing is like the thing with all of these like subscription or these keys or the like passes or whatever for like things like this is that like for most people, like people who aren't like kind of dead set being like I am definitely I know myself I am definitely going this often. It's once you commit to a once you commit to spending $1,400 or $100 a month, at that point you're kind of locked in of being like, I like over this next year, no matter what my schedule is,
I have to go.
I gotta go at least this number of times, or I might have made an unwise purchase. For versus like spending 1,400, like having $1,400 that you just put into a Disney account, being like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna it's I'm gonna go whenever I can actually go to Disneyland, and that's
I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention the other big part of Magic Key. So I forgot to read the fine print down here at the bottom. So here's the for a limited time. This is be among the first. For a limited time, we'll celebrate charter members that become Magic Key holders within the first 66 days, as we celebrate 66 years of Disneyland Resort. These guests will receive a special welcome package that will include unique items such as premium branded pin, celebratory button, magnet, and more. Plus, Magic Key holders who enter Disneyland Park will also be celebrated with access to a limited time experience at Starcade at Tomorrowland. Um, and then what was the other thing? There's also like a Disney Magic Key month, or like Magic Key holders get. Yeah, there's a Magic Key holder celebration month, and then also Magic Key holders get like different festivals and things like that. But like, so I was talking to Wynneth. Y'all are familiar with Wynneth, right? Shri, I'm not
yeah.
sure if you are. Have you
I
met
don't
Wynneth?
think I am.
You haven't met Wynneth yet. So she's another big Disney fan that's on the podcast with us, and she is telling me that like, see that was like the thing too. Like, if I get the Dream Key, am I gonna get a special pin that says like Magic Key holder, or is it gonna say Dream Key holder? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be super rare? And you could probably sell it for a ton of money because it's like you got in the first 66 days the super rare pin that's now worth like $200. You know what I mean? Like, or like, do people who have the Dream Key do they get more benefits than people who are getting like special like behind the scenes stuff than people who bought the Imagine Key? Like, these are questions that like haven't been answered yet. You know what I mean? And like, you don't.
I'm I imagine the be among the first is going to be kind of a package that is like a package that is in addition to whichever, like I think it's going to be the same package regardless of what key you get. Like I'm sure the premium brand is going to be like uh like original magic key holder. It's not necessarily going to be like original like dream magic key holder or anything like that, especially because it's a limited release. I don't they they might not make a that would be a lot of different like pins and things to make for a very limited, like for a 66-day release.
I see your point, but Disney has done so many limited edition pins you wouldn't believe. So I would like
Uh, yeah, they
there.
might. I don't know.
So anyway, I guess that's like my argument is that like at a certain point, if I'm gonna get the pass, I'd go for like the Believe key, and at that point, it's like if like even if I'm like slightly tight for money now, like in the future, it's like I can always go around knowing that I've had the Dream key for as long as it's been out, so you don't feel like you've missed out on anything. Does my like thought process kind of make sense, or is that
It's
like
FOMO.
yeah
Yeah, and that's why they're doing it. But
Yeah.
like, kind of being the cynical.
It's a pin, man. It's $5.
Well,
don't
yeah.
you disrespect me like that?
Yeah. Also, it's like the kind of like, oh, there's limited amounts of keys, and if you buy within the first 66 days, you get like you get a pin, a button, and a magnet and stuff. Like,
Worth $500.
yeah, but the I like the cynic in me, like does kind of feel like of being like, oh man, I wonder how many people are trying to get to sign up on this before people start posting about like what the fine print actually means once this stuff starts getting like once people start making reservations and things, and
Yeah,
the
that's a
kind of
good point.
the restrictions and everything starts to be a little
And especially
more
with
concrete.
COVID, I'm curious to see how things are going to actually pan out.
They
True,
probably put
yeah.
that in their
People
fine
people
print this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be surprised. I don't think Disney's going to. I don't think Disney's going to be like, oh hey, you guys paid $1,400 for a magic key. Oh, we shut down Disneyland. Get fucked. They'll probably pause. They'll probably pause any keys. they'll probably pause keys if the park gets shut down again. I can imagine that they would at least do
You
that.
could dream. You mean?
Yeah, but I would. But my recommendation would probably be to wait until we see.
You know I'm not waiting, Liam. Okay, for
Well,
Liam's
well,
recommendation to our
already a
listeners.
junkie, so you're a lost cause.
So I'm already a junkie.
Yeah,
I already started a Disney podcast. It's a little late
yeah,
for me.
yeah. It's you're too far gone.
Yeah, I think at least for like the common person, I know like we talked about this already, but overall, these passes are a much worse deal for the consumer than they were for the previous annual pass holder program. The previous pass holder program, I think their highest, like the Dream Key equivalent, whatever the like Signature Plus or whatever the best like annual pass was, it gave a lot more benefits and it was only slightly few more dollars. This deal is a lot better for Disney, which kind of makes sense. They're like a company, they have to make money off of it too, but it's especially tough now because they took away the buy by the per month feature. You know what I'm talking about? Like now people out of state, which is like the majority. Okay, do y'all think the majority of the people going to Disneyland are from SoCal? It's like 50.
No.
Is it 50?
Oh, yes, yes.
Is
Yeah.
it like 50-50?
Yeah. I would say it's like 70-30. Realistically, maybe 60-40. California favors.
Okay. So let's say we'll go with 40 for example. 40% of people maybe they can't afford to buy $1,400 pass all at once, you know? So they're probably not getting that.
I feel like isn't that what Disney World is for? Like that's the out of state one. Like that's the one tourists go to.
That's a good point. But that's also like a lot more like let's say you live in Nevada, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a little short drive to Disneyland.
Yeah,
but
and sometimes people do that's and I think that's for sometimes I think people do Disneyland as part of like visiting like LA
California,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah, like
Well,
we're
it's
gonna
similar
go
to
see the
Florida.
Hollywood sign. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially these days.
You know, that's why they tried to make California Adventure, because I think it was Michael Eisner was like, you know what, instead of having everyone go all around California to look at the sights, we'll just put them all in a theme park. And that's how California Adventure was born.
Not a bad idea.
It was a horrible idea. It ended up just being like a cheap carnival thing that everyone was like, this is terrible. It's gotten much better, and of course now it's got Avengers Campus, but I don't know. I feel like Disney already has me hooked. But what Liam?
I was gonna say, I feel like if you're on the fence about it and you're like, hey, I want to go into this only if it's a good deal. If you're worried about like the deal aspect of it, it's probably I'd say just go to Disneyland when you can and like don't like get the dream key because obviously the most expensive one is going to be the best deal. That's like how they want it to work. But yeah.
See, I
But
think personally for me, I'll
I've
begin,
heard
but
honestly, if you're someone like us who's like, hey, we're in the area and we're and it's like guaranteed you like you're hanging out in the area and you're with a bunch of friends who you know that you and a bunch of friends are going to go to Disneyland all the time and you're in Southern California. Like I don't think the Imagine Key is like that crazy to like if you can afford like the $400 up front, or you can afford like 179 down payment and then like $19 a month, which honestly isn't a crazy subscription number. Like I don't think the Imagine Key is like a crazy is a crazy thing to get, but I think if if you're if you're deciding how much you want to go to Disneyland based on what key you think you're going to get, I'd say
Just go with the cheap
don't
key for now, and then worst is you upgrade.
yeah, don't lock yourself into like feeling like you have to go a bunch because you've dropped upwards of $1,000 on like this like one theme park.
you know,
But if
who was it
yeah,
talking to me? Was it Nathan? Was it you that was, or was it Michael? Our friend Michael. He was one of the guys we talked to. Was he the one that was saying you can buy the bigger pass, and then if like you don't like it, you can always downgrade too. That way you don't have like the fear of missing out.
Well, it wasn't me.
Okay, it wasn't you. Okay, it must have been my other friend. So we were discussing it. I think that's what I'm gonna go with personally. Is I'll start off at the Dream Key just because like I know
insane.
what you say. Same.
Nothing. I said insane, but nothing.
Insane. I see. There's a lot of discrimination happening. No, I my thought process is like, um, I mean, I don't have a family I have to like take care of or anything like that. So it's like me and my privilege over here. So I can like get the Dream Key, and then it's like I fully believe I will be going multiple times a month, and will be able to spend like or get like my money's worth out of it. Um, what was my point with this statement? Oh, and then it's like if I feel like I go through the first year and there's not enough benefits that like the Dream Key is giving, like let's say the special pin they give isn't like Dream Key exclusive. Let's say it's just like it just says Magic Key on it, you know? Like everyone gets the same one and there's no special benefits for using the highest pass, then I can downgrade after that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at least that's how personally I see it. Shri, I'm curious about you now that we've like talked it out more. Like, if you were gonna get a pass with like your personal,
Currently,
set.
right now,
Yeah,
with my
currently.
budget and my life, I would probably get the low tier pass if I was to get one. But that would be like, I haven't been to Disney since I was 4. I'm going again. I'm 22. I'm going again at the end of August. I'd have to see, you know what I mean? I'd have to be like, oh, this is like kind of worth it. I could see myself here. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm really into Star Wars and stuff like that, but I'm not into it that much where I want to go constantly. You know what I mean? I'm more of like a one and I'm good for a couple of years. In this
Uh-huh.
case, it was 18.
Oh my gosh! So you already purchased your 3 day pass then, right?
No, I just purchased the 1 day pass because honestly, I had like the entire month of September, I'm busy and you could only book till September. And because like I have like this prelim exam that I got to take, and it's at the end of September, so I know I'm going to be studying for that all of September. So I'll probably get the 3 day pass after September, so like October and November and December, like maybe like 1 day in like 2 days in October and one in November.
So what the thing I'm thinking about right now is I think I'm gonna see if they're even still available right now. Oogie Boogie Bash. I'm still trying to see if anyone wants to go to Oogie Boogie Bash because the day that Winneth is going um is a day that I think the rest of us have training, and as we were joking that there's no way we could get out of that. At least Nathan and
You'd be surprised, dude. I got out a lot of training.
I.
And on a side note, I've spent the past 30 minutes trying to fit this Lego piece in, and I'm convinced that I don't know where I made the error. I've gone back 15 steps. Like my nose is bleeding like all over this booklet right now. Like all of my brain power is being used. This is crazy.
Yeah, okay, so
What
like
Disney does to us.
so pretty much every day in October is already taken. Insane. But Oogie Boogie Bash is like September 12th. I'm trying to see if like either like that's a Sunday. Try to see if people are interested in going.
Honestly, I'm no, that never mind. That's when I start the exam. It's like a 2-week thing. It's like an oral exam.
What about September 19th, also Sunday? Would that be like
Dude, it goes till the 22nd.
oh gee. Hey, the 23rd's open. What about
So what you're telling me, sir?
hey, Saturday, September 11th?
I
Anyway,
don't know.
we'll talk about it, but anyway,
Yeah.
trying to see if people are interested in going to that. I know I was talking to Sanil about it. We have a buddy named Kevin who said he was like possibly thinking about it. So I'm definitely gonna go. I just gotta. I'm still at that stage where I'm like I don't want to go Disneyland alone. I've never been to Disneyland alone yet, and it's just because like the other day when like not the other day but the other month when we were at Disneyland, I think. Nathan, was it like at one point where like you went on like the Ferris wheel without me and I was like dead at a table?
Yeah. Jared took a little nap.
Like I think whenever like I'm on my own at Disneyland, I'm like I want to go on a ride and it's like let's say the ride is like one of the kids rides, like no grown man just hops on Winnie the Pooh on his own.
Yeah, you'll get arrested. Straight to jail.
The ride, not the person. But yeah, I guess my point is that like I'm still at that stage where like I'm hesitant to go to Disneyland alone, but
It sounds like you're ready for it.
no, I'm ready for it.
I don't know.
Like,
Do you want to go? Do you want to enter that stage?
Hey,
No,
that's
Bro,
the-
I mean,
that's-
honestly,
that's
no
the-
shade
that is-
to anybody, but as long as you're not like crying when you're at Disneyland, you're chilling.
that's the other thing is that if you don't want to be going to like Disneyland like on your own, if you're getting something like the Dream Key, you're kind of
You're going
dependent on,
alone.
like you're not going to be able to line up like multiple
4 or 5
times a
people
month.
day.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to find multiple people. Like you're not going to get people to go with you unless they also have the Dream Key.
no, that's
to
the thing.
go.
I meant well, okay, so yes, I will be fine eventually going on my own. The thing is though, like
Yeah.
for Oogie Boogie Bash more specifically, since it's like a special event, I'd rather go with a friend or like get a group of people for that one as opposed
Oh
to
yeah, that
going on my
yeah,
own.
that makes sense.
Guys,
Especially
I
'cause I've
figured
never
it
done
out, by the way.
You what?
I figured it out. I misplaced one Lego brick and I had to move it. Like I had to shift this entire thing like 7. Oh my god, that was terrible.
Conquered Disney.
Wait, what, Nathan?
We've conquered Disney.
The
Bro,
Legos
honestly-
or the
I applied to Lego as a material engineer, and they literally the next day they said, "No, we don't want you."
oh.
I had never been so hurt in my life. I was like, "Sir, I have spent thousands of dollars at your store."
Lego, please sponsor this
Disney, if you're watching.
Bro, basically.
Get this man a job.
Dude, like you're like down bad for Disney. I'm down bad for Lego.
True, Lego's amazing though.
I can appreciate that. I feel that.
Like once I get a full-time salary, once my wife gets a full-time salary, it's over. It's
No.
over for her.
Once your wife's boyfriend gets a full-time salary, then you're
Dude, I don't
set.
even care. I don't care, bro. I don't care how she gets the money. As long as the Legos are coming in, I could care less.
Fair enough.
No matter the cost, gotta see it through.
Well, everyone, you heard it here. As long as the Legos are coming in, Shree's happy. And I'm happy if Shree's happy. So I think we've talked it all to death for tonight. So let us know what y'all think. If you think the Dream Passes or Dream Key is worth it. It's going to take a while for me to get used to saying key all the time.
As a recap, if you're in Southern California, Magic Key, not too bad of a deal. If you have a Disney podcast, go for getting the Dream Key. Otherwise, check your wallet.
If flies
Honestly, you
come
should see
out
if
of
you
it.
get sponsored by Disney.
Yeah, otherwise, maybe reevaluate your finances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
look in your bank
Because
account
also-
and there's a 0 in there, do not get the Dream Pass.
Maybe just reevaluate your decision making as a whole.
Because I got
Really, maybe go outside, touch some grass, really think about what you're trying to do right now.
yeah, like because also just think about like other $1,400. You can buy a lot of Disney.
That's
games
a lot of
with-
money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. But I have no self-control. So we'll end on that note. Thank you all so much for watching.
Has he learned anything? No.
No, and I never
Thanks
will.
for watching.
Make sure to follow
Jared,
us on YouTube.
Jared
and
has a
Spotify.
dream. He believes, and these keys have enchanted him. So he's gonna do whatever.
Bro,
his
Walt
brain might
Disney came to
imagine.
him in a dream and said, "I need you to buy this pass."
Imagine that happening.
Tries.
Okay, before I decide to spend any more money, follow us on Spotify, find us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll see whatever goes on next week. I think we have. Does Marvel What If start? Doesn't that start next week? I should have
Like
checked
August
that.
11th, I think.
August
I think it was
11th.
August 11th because I'm actually really excited for that one.
How are they expecting me to keep up with these?
I think that's a
shows?
Wednesday, isn't it? Is that exactly 1 week from now? So I think next week.
Yeah, August 11th.
Cool. So we'll talk about that. I guess we're not going to do anything spoilery, but
I will watch that one when it comes out. I will make sure to actually watch that one when it comes out.
we'll do a little watch party, Liam.
All right.
So as always, you can follow us on Instagram at Castles and Company, on Twitter at Castles and Company as well, and also our website castlesandcompany.com. So until next time, remember this: laughter is timeless, imagination has no age, and dreams are forever. So thank you,
Amen.
and have a good, magical rest of your day.